How's everybody doing today? And welcome to Mike Dub 27 Trading. And today, once again, we're looking at Lucid Group. Now, like we said before on our last video, that we were going to see if it was going to stay within that range. And no doubt, that's exactly what it did. If you look at the stock this morning at the open, it was at $2.39. When I saw that, I was like, you know what? It's either gonna go up or it's gonna go down. But I had to jump in because I didn't want to miss that 230 and that upside. So I went ahead and jumped in at 239 and went right to 40. Went back to 238. Went up to 241. I said, okay, here we go. I'm about to see it. Went down to 239, 237, and then after that, right here at 10. Bam, 255. Once I saw that 255, went ahead and took a profit. That was at 8.51% change. So no doubt we're still riding with Lucid here. If you look throughout the day, 249, 250, all the way to right now, as we're recording at 244. So it's definitely holding. There's a slight downtrend, but it's still holding over that 240 mark. What I'm looking at now is in the morning, if it goes back to 237, 238, to jump back in and do the same thing, at least until waters run dry. Now let's go ahead and look at the candles and see exactly what was going on today. So right here we can see MACD was actually kind of soft today. You know, it was a little green right there, then it kind of died out, a little bit of red. We see that big bump right here between 10 o'clock and 10:30, where it really jumped up. And after that, that was the time to get out, because after that, everybody just started taking profit. There's a little bit of jump right here at 3 o'clock, you know, those last minute buys real quick. But after that, it went ahead and around 4 o'clock, everybody took profit, or 3:30. So it's looking like everybody's on the same wavelength as far as between 239 and 250 is kind of the sweet spot when it comes to this Lucid stock. See right here, the highest being 255, but the lowest right here being 238. So no doubt we love to see it. So let's see if there's any new Lucid stock. First, let's look at some of the stats right here. Volume right now 133.33 million. The average is 108.93 million. So we're still up there. There is a lot of movement going on when it comes to this Lucid stock. Low today being 236, high 257. Market cap 7.38 billion. So we are legit right now. We got the Motley Fool actually just dropped some news, or dropped the article 10 hours ago. It says if you invested 1,000 in Lucid stock 4 years ago, here's how much you have today. It just talks about how Lucid's up 9.26%, distributed in the NASDAQ Stock Exchange and Fanfare. So of course we got the little pop-ups. We don't mess with those. Here it says, all right, the once red hot EV stock has crumbled, but what are the chances of a recovery? It said Lucid, which is at this particular article, was at 3.62%, debuted in the NASDAQ Stock Exchange with a much fanfare back in July 26, 2021, after merging with a special purpose acquisition company, SPAC. The electric vehicle EV stock jumped by double-digit percentages on the day of listing and hit an all-time high of $57.75. That's something we hope to see again. On November 15, 2021, if you'd invested $1,000 in Lucid stock at its closing price on listing day, you'd have more than doubled your money in less than 4 months. So right there we can see just how much uh, some people are making off of it. However, the same $1,000 investment in Lucid stock is worth only a fraction today, or $89 precisely, which means investors who brought Lucid stock at its initial public offering, or IPO. That's what IPO means. Initial public offering, have seen their wealth erode by over 90%. So basically, if you bought it at the high, you lost a lot. Hopefully, you had a stop loss somewhere in there, and to stop you from being able to completely crushing your brokerage account. What went so drastically wrong in such a promising EV startup that was even called the next Tesla? Of course, we know it came down to their production, only producing 7,180 units. And if you think about it, you see Teslas all the time, but you maybe once in a blue moon you'll see a Lucid driving around. There's probably one Lucid per major city, per city. Um, and that's why we've seen such a drop off. But here we go. What Lucid stock needs to recover. Lucid expects to more than double production in 2025, but that would mean only about 20,000 units, a number it first aimed for in 2022. Lucid is also looking for a new CEO after Peter Rawlinson recently quit, which added further uncertainty to the stock. The only good thing about Lucid is the backing of Saudi Arabia's sovereign public fund, which takes care of funding, unless Lucid can use that money to scale up production and deliveries. So basically what they need to do right now, they need to figure out a way to scale up production and deliveries. If they can do that, they can definitely compete with Tesla. Because everybody, like we said before, everybody likes the vehicle. It's just a matter of getting people on board with it. But as far as the stock goes, it's one of those things right now, and it's the gift that just keeps giving. Um, so we can look at one of our main screeners as well, because there were some other things doing some nice moves today. For instance, let's scroll on down. Let me find it. Of course, everything's gonna go ahead and show up now. But earlier, we saw some moves from Esperion Therapeutics. It started this morning at $1.57 and then worked its way up to about $1.65, and right before it closed on $1.68. So that's not bad. Could have made a pretty little dime off of that one. Let's see some other. We try to look at some things that aren't necessarily biotechnology, because sometimes that biotechnology could go either way on you. But here's one: Weave Communications. Now, Weave Communications. Let me see something real quick. 71% buy. That means the analysts like it. You can see right there, Crosslink Capital Incorporated, and they just made a sale. But right under it, Dry House Capital Management LLC, they just bought up 313,618 shares. Total shares 855,502. And then we can see there's a bunch of more buys and open positions as well. So no doubt we can see how that caused this to really jump up. If you look right here at 9:30, it was around 11:13, 11:20, hit 11:37, 11:35, 11:53, and eventually 11:62. So we could definitely have made some money off of that. Let's look at some more. Here we go. Mineralist Therapeutics. Go down here and take a look at this real quick. This is a 100% buy by analyst ratings right now. So they're going 100% on this. So let's look at this. Let's look at the insiders and see what they're saying. Informative buys: 1,296,296 shares. Informative buy by Raw Capital Management. 600,000 shares buy by Shanivis Akaruji. And of course you can see we got a lot more buys going on right there as well, which caused this stock to really jump up. Now let's see, is there any news on why this is? It doesn't really show too much news going on with it, but somebody likes it. You know, if they're spending this much money on it. Market cap 1 billion. High today 1837. Low today 1461. Somebody made some money. I may have to go ahead and keep a watch. Let's take a look at this. So where was averaging before the spike up today? It was around 1314 to 1366. Now the thing about these therapeutics, they like to drop all the way back down to their baselines. So something like this, if I was to keep it on watch, I would wait till it dropped back down to about 13 something and then try to ride the next wave. It's been going up a lot lately. Hold up, let's see. So it started at 12 back 3 months ago, dropped down around 9, and it's just been gradually going up since then. Let's look at the 5-year. 5-year, they started at 2110. Looks like it's trying to get back to that opening. But yeah, Minerales Therapeutics. They may have something going on here. This may be something that we want to keep an eye on. Let's see if any more stocks up here. Let's try to find something that's not necessarily a therapeutics or anything like that, because like I said, those therapeutic stocks, you know, sometimes you can't trust them. Here we go. I am gold. This is what we want to see right here. I Am Gold Corp engages in the exploration, development, and production of gold and mineral resources properties. It owns and operates the Westwood Mine in Quebec and the Côté Gold Project, a development project located in Ontario. So there's nothing wrong with a little bit of gold. 3.50 billion market cap. Today's low 593. Today's high 618. I like that. I like that. I may go ahead and put this on my list. We're going to go ahead and add that. We're going to add that to the small cap. All right, because I'm liking how that looks. Let's look at the candles. Oh yeah, this is pretty. That's a nice normal volatile stock right there. It's one of them ones where you get in at about 597, get out at 617, and then you do it again, and you do it again, and you do it again. Oh yeah, I like that right there. That 1 week. Yeah, that looks good. Even 1 month, if you go back far enough, it's still within range. Alright, so yeah, we're going to take a look at I Am Gold. I'm going to see what that does tomorrow morning. That may be something that we got to go ahead and take a look at. So let's go to our small cap screener. Let me find it real quick. Find a small cap screener. Alright, so I Am Gold should be on there. I don't see it. Thought I added it. Let's try it. I am gold. Yeah, added it to the list. Small caps. I may need to just hit their little reset on it. There we go. Alright, we're in there. And let's go ahead and get rid of some stuff that I'm no longer looking at, because I don't like to have too many things on the same screener. So we'll go ahead and get rid of some of those therapeutic ones. Can't really trust them anyway. Let's go ahead and take them off. There we go. This one, we definitely got to get rid of the penny stock. That ain't nothing but a trap. Alright. Alright, so I think we're good. Probably get rid of a couple more of these. We'll go ahead and hit the reset. There we go. Like I said, we'll probably get rid of a couple more of these off of camera, off video. But IQIY was making a move today. It hit 243 low, and then that thing just climbed up. So that may be something we need to keep an eye on. The thing about IQIY, you may have to keep your eye on it for a couple of days. Sometimes it's a slow move. Of course, you got SoundHound. They've been making some good moves today. SoundHound, one of those things, I used to trade it, but once it fell back down from $20, I was like, I can't trust it. Didn't really know what it was going to do next. It says it's still connected with NVIDIA. It says there's NVIDIA highly anticipated GPU technology conference takes place this week. Investors' attention has turned to SoundHound AI, the voice of AIs, yada yada yada. So we'll see what's going on with that. But yeah, definitely, Lucid's definitely looking like a go. We'll probably play this every day until it finally stops giving the goods. But otherwise, everybody have a good evening. Take care of yourself and keep trading. Don't forget to like, don't forget to follow. This is Mike Dub 27 and trading, and I am out.